Ooh, that's too close. Okay. Welcome back, YouTubers. It's been about, I don't even know, a year since I've done a video here, but I need to talk about an issue that's last couple of days I was not really following until then that has come to my attention in sports. And this one here, man, this is a doozy. So, for those who don't know, the women's tournament, NCAA tournament is in full swing, and obviously the big names in the pot were Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark plays for Ohio, Iowa, and Angel Reese plays for LSU. And last year, Angel Reese was able to defeat Caitlin Clark, went on to win the big game. Good for her. I don't watch women's basketball, but that's what happened. This year, Caitlin Clark got some revenge and took out Angel Reese in, I think, the semifinals or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But the controversy has come because of what she did in her post-game interview. She was very upset. Obviously, you lost the game, and she came about saying stuff about she's been sexualized and death threats, and all of this came about. Okay, I'm going to get to that in a second. But in sports media, on a show I believe it's called Speak Your Mind, there's a few guys on there. Emmanuel Acho, LaShawn McCoy, and James Jones were giving their feedback. Another lady, I forgot her name, Joy something. But Emmanuel Acho gave his opinion on the post-game interview that Angel Reese conducted. And I kind of agree with what the man said. She was painted supposedly as a villain by the media because she's kind of, she brags a little bit, saying, doing the whole, you can't touch this. People thought it was a black-white thing. It may have just been a sports thing between her and Caitlin, because apparently those two don't really have any beef, but on the court, it's what they do. So she's a bit of a brag. She's a bit of a rough player on the court. She's grabbed some girl's weave one time, going for a rebound, talks a lot of trash to the coaches on the sideline. She's put herself out there. We've seen this behavior before with men. Terrell Owens, Keyshawn Johnson back in the day, Deion Sanders. We have these brash players, trash talkers, even boxing. You've had guys Mike Tyson was a bit of a boaster. So, not a boaster, but they accept that role of the bad guy, so to speak. Okay, the media gave it to Angel Reese. She accepted this willingly as the villain. When you accept yourself as the villain of the story, you have to understand that when you fall or you fail, they will come for you. Okay? This is just the way it is. It's always been that way in sports. It's never going to change. People were probably glad that she got beat by the girl she took out last year. Emmanuel Acho goes on the radio and says that, hey, you can't come to the podium crying after you lose the game, talking about now you're sexualized, now you have death threats, which may all have been true, but you brought this on yourself in multiple ways by accepting the role of being the villain. Okay, your Instagram page, you're half naked and half your pictures, tiny little bikini showing your ass and everything else all over your Instagram. Shocker that men would look at you in a sexual way after that. Can you believe it? Okay, and you want to play the bad. You grow now. You're 21. You want to be treated like the men. It's all about equality. So you went ahead and you manned up. You played the villain. You're out there, okay, when you're winning. But now you've taken the L. You've taken one across the chin, and now at the interview, you're looking for sympathy, and it's not there. Too effing bad. This is just the way the world works. I cannot stand when people try to be bad and bougie when you're winning, But all of a sudden you lose and you're looking for sympathy from the world. It doesn't come, and anybody who says anything about you is against black women. All of a sudden this became against black women. I was like, what? What are you talking about? On the show, Emmanuel Acho gave his piece about you can't come crying as coward, courage the cowardly dog, when you were, Magneto, heck, the villain prior to this. Okay, that's not what he said, but the point is, take the L and go home. You go to the podium, you say, hey, we put up a good fight. We didn't get it done this year. Good luck to Caitlin Clark and her squad, and you leave. Keep all that other stuff out of it. Don't come looking for sympathy. That's not what you did. So Emmanuel Clark gave his opinion. The other two guys on the panel, LaShawn McCoy, I believe, and James Jones, they're both retired now, I believe, said the exact same thing. They agreed with Emmanuel Acho 100% and even added on top of that. But nobody came for them. None of these sports media people, even Roland Martin, that's about as anti-right as you can come, Roland Martin, the king of the leftists, they all left these guys' names out. They focused on Emmanuel Acho. Why is that? When three people said the exact same thing, you target one of them and you broke this boy. You broke him like what do they say? Buck broke is what everybody's saying on the internet. They bent that poor boy over, Hollywood style, and they broke him. They had this man come back on the air and was thankful for being reprimanded by reprobates. What's that word? Oh my goodness. You had a grown man go back on television and thank people for reprimanding him. You can't make this stuff up. And who's doing the reprimanding, you ask? Somebody of importance? Someone relevant? A great sports person? Maybe, I don't know, Julius Erving, Michael Jordan? Not that it would be appropriate for them, but at least they're of high stature. Look at who is calling Emmanuel Acho up and doing the reprimanding. Matt Barnes and Ryan Clark? Matt Barnes? This is who you taking reprimand from? This man can barely speak English right. Matt Barnes has only been known for being a nuisance in the NBA. One known for being a great player. Ryan Clark at least was a decent player. But who are these people to come tell me that I can't have an opinion that's not with the masses? That's what they did to Emmanuel Acho. They broke this brother. And why did they break him? What do I always say? It's all about the money. Emmanuel Acho was afraid to lose the bag. Okay, he's not on his own. He's not independent, which is why I applaud guys who kind of go off on their own, man, when they've had enough of ESPN, Disney, whoever, Fox, whatever, that has this umbrella of rules that they step out, they get drenched. You have to stay in this little cocoon. So that's what they made him do. And he doesn't want to lose the bag. Money is the primary thing that drives all of these people, man. All of these people in the entertainment industry, the minute you start scaring them with the money, a lot of them fold. And they had this man look like the world's sorriest simp going on television and thanking other grown men in his age group for reprimanding him for having an opinion. In 2024, that's what they did to him. Okay, and I think that's just embarrassing. If I was Emmanuel Acho and money was not the primary focus of my life, I would have, the second Matt Barnes calls me on the phone and starts talking, I'd have been like, Matt, no disrespect, but you can eat a bag of dicks. Just straight up. Him and Ryan Clark. Y'all two get together and eat a bag. Because I don't want to hear this. This is the way I feel. This is my opinion. You are well within your rights to disagree with it and tell me why you disagree with it. But don't step to me as a grown man telling me I need and reprimanding me like I'm a 6-year-old and I stole a cookie out of a jar because I said something that you didn't like. And something else people brought up and I thought was interesting. It's not what Emmanuel Acho said. It's because he said it. Okay? He being a Nigerian American, the brother was born, I think, in Dallas, Texas, but his parents are Nigerian. So he's an American. Okay? LaShawn McCoy, American, and James Jones, also American. But it's weird that the Nigerian American is the one that they targeted because he said something about an American black woman basketball player. Why him, not the other two? The only thing we see different here is he's Nigerian American, the other two are, I guess, born and bred American. And Acho was born here. Something to think about. But you guys, in Hollywood, when you scare people with the money, they fold, they bend. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose my $20 million contract a year. What do you want me to say? You want me to say I'm sorry for having an opinion? You want me to say that people were, I shouldn't have said that, I take it back? I mean, granted, Emmanuel didn't really say he was sorry for what he said, but this whole idea about he's thankful for people that were reprimanding him for what he said is just pathetic. Okay? No grown man should have to do something like this. On TV or where from his home he apologized? Are you kidding me? They broke Stephen A. Smith years ago when he had an opinion about women. He said something about black women and they broke him and they had him come on ESPN and apologize. And since that time, a lot of people have lost respect for him because they saw that money was the motivating factor for you and you were willing to be broken, to be bent over the railing, okay, just so you can keep the bag. And that's what they did to Emmanuel Acho. I tip my hat to guys like that everybody hates. Jason Whitlock, Marcelo Swiley, and some of these other guys who have just said, the hell with this. We're going to go do our own thing. Even Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they've kind of done their own thing. I don't really like them that much. I don't hate them. But their takes tend to be, they're not the sharpest tools in the shed. When you hear these guys speak, they're not that sharp. They're really not. Not compared to some of the other guys out there. They're just too busy smoking weed to be smart. And Mike Barnes is one of the people that did the reprimanding. This is just hilarious to me. But to wrap this up, man, this is absolutely pathetic. We cannot do this to people in real life, Hollywood, wherever. If you have a talk show and somebody gives an opinion, some of you are going to disagree with what I say in this. And guess what? That's okay. Obviously, you can't cancel me because I'm not relevant like that. But the point is, you don't go after somebody and reprimand them for saying something you didn't like. What foolishness is this? And this is where we are today. After all this time, we've learned nothing. And here's another brother that's been bent over and broken right in front of our eyes. And it's just sad that people can't take the truth. What that man said, there was nothing wrong about it. She played the villain. She got clapped back for it. Suck it up and move on. Why did this even become a story? Because he's attacking black women? When did the man... He has said some stuff before about white people, and that got swept under the rug. Apparently, he doesn't trust white people. Nobody in the black community blew up about him saying he doesn't trust white people. But him saying that a black woman should not be crying at the podium after a loss, because I guarantee you this, hear me and hear me well, if Angel Reese had won that game, if she had put up 25, 20, and 10 or whatever, that little speech at the podium never would have happened. She would have been joyous, 2 years in a row taking out the little white girl from Iowa. You would have heard nothing about being sexualized or none of that nonsense. Because winners only talk about how great they are and how great their teammates are and things are great in the world. I don't care what question the reporter would have asked her. If she had won that game, her response would have been different. but you lost. That's what happened. You couldn't take it on the chin, and so you fall back into the victimhood thing. Somebody calls you on it, and all of a sudden, they're the worst person on the planet. Think about it, people. Don't let this narrative control you. See what's happening. They broke Emmanuel. Who's next? They didn't go after LaShawn and James. I wonder why. Because probably those guys would have been like me and told them to go kick rocks or worse. Maybe. We shall see. But let's see how this goes. I just thought I'd give my little 2 cents on this. Whoever sees this video, if you got some feedback, what did you think about what Emmanuel Acho said? Did you agree? Did you disagree with it? Give me some thoughts. I'd love to hear it. And as usual, there's no animosity here, okay? Differences of opinion, it's what human beings do. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.